Hi guys, Cyborg Matt here at the International 2014. I'm at Seattle's Key Arena. I'm joined here by Navi's Kuro and Fnatic's BigDaddy. I'm not quite sure what's going on. We kind of have a double mix going on here, so I think I'll start over here with you. Obviously this morning, lost against Cloud9. Shit happens. How are you feeling?
Well, when you lose the tournament, you feel sad naturally, but overall I'm okay, to be honest, because I was kind of prepared to lose. I didn't feel that we can win. Like, even if we would win Cloud9, I think we wouldn't go that far this tournament.
Okay.
So I'm fine.
Isn't that a bit of a weird mindset to go into a tournament with?
It's one of the worst mindsets you can have, but I can't force myself to think otherwise, because it's my team situation has been very bad lately, and I can lie to myself and say, hey guys, let's fucking do it. And I did it. And I lied to myself and to my teammates, and we all lied to each other, try to make the best out of it. It brought us to top 8, which is already, I think it's...
Half a million.
Fuck the money. It's really good
Okay.
for our team state.
All right.
I think it is, and I think we should be satisfied with our results for now. Not as a competitor, because you always aim higher, but
Yeah.
I think many teams could have been in this place anyway, and it's fine.
And then yourself, BigDaddy, unfortunately, you weren't able to make it to the main event. We almost didn't get you here at TI. Obviously, there's a lot of bullshit going on leading up to the International. Being here at the main event, I've seen you mingling with a lot of fans, and obviously you guys have a huge fan base. Is it a weird experience being in this position? This is the first International without all the teams there, obviously.
Yeah, again, you can go back to what Kuro said. For our team's sake, we're happy to be here. And as you said, there was a situation that could have led up to us not even coming here. And that happened like multiple times, even at the freaking airport, like the last step to get here. We had some issues. So, yeah, I should be happy just to be here, and I am. And I'm also sad how early we got knocked out in the tournament. But overall, you gotta look at the situation, and it was, once again, you have to make the best out of it, because everything was pretty shit. So being here, great. You meet all the fans, you meet all the players, and that's never bad. I mean, that's like our dessert. That's our ice cream for all our work, is to come to these events.
Okay. So for yourself, Kuro, what's the plan now for the rest of the event? Are you just going to chill out and maybe do what BigDaddy's been doing and meeting some fans? I know you have a largely growing fan base. People have been really happy when they saw you at the European hub and elsewhere.
I'm gonna relax, and I already met some fans. In the next days, I will do more of that. I will do more of that today. Watch the games, talk to some players. Pretty much everything but playing. That's what I will do.
All right. And are you guys going to take a holiday after this event? Chill out for a bit, or?
Yeah, there's always going to be at least a few weeks break after TI, but I mean, you're addicted to Dota. You can't really quit, so the break's only going to last that long.
And yourself?
I'll just go home, see my family, my friends, and then I will start playing. I'll probably start playing after 1 week again.
1 week?
Yeah, I'm not much of a vacation guy, so 1 week is more than enough.
All right. So in terms of both yourselves looking at the scene right now, how big are you expecting the fallout to be after the International, and with all the teams here?
I think it's going to be like every year. I think the top 2 teams might not change anything, but in the end it's going to be like most teams will have a breakdown, they will change roster, and after 6 months you're going to have the second change of rosters coming for the next International, if there is one. So we just have to wait out and see. It's very depending on the results in the end.
All right. And yourself?
Yeah, I don't think any team is safe from potential roster changes. Even a winning team might have a few players retiring, which leads to no team pretty much being safe. Like, as in terms of roster changes, but they can be healthy. So what happens after TI with teams? There will be a lot of changes. And as for Dota, that's a really special, big question, because this could be the breaking point for whether or not the game's going to explode and become even bigger, or if it's going to potentially drop down in the coming year. I think this is a big decider.
What's a drop down for you? Is that maybe next International not being as large as this one, or where's the drop down come?
Well, I'm pretty sure the International will grow if the player base grows and maintains, like, maintains a high player base in general. So I don't know. I think it comes down to a lot of things, not just how big the prize pool is next year, but how big the community is, how many tournaments you get to see, also what the money are in those tournaments, but also how this game is going to evolve. If it's going to be like a hooligan sport like football, or if it's going to be a classy sport like chess, that's also up in the air. Like Dota is very new still to this. And what it's going to be, I think it depends on so much.
And for yourself, the future of Dota 2, do you still carry on the growth? We saw quite a huge growth between TI3 and TI4, which has helped push all this money this way.
Well, the growth is very much connected to the community, right? I mean, this tournament, it's the community. Not more, not less, not new sponsors, not anything. It's only the people. People make this game, and that's pretty much it. I can't predict what's going to happen in the future. I just know for myself, I want to keep playing, and that's it.
All right. So, plans for the rest of your stay? Are you now free to drink? Are you going to get a few drinks in, maybe?
Do I look like a person that drinks, Matt?
You kind of... I've seen you drink.
Man,
You're drunk.
You're offending me. I'm gonna just relax, like I said, whatever.
All right. And I don't even need to ask you.
Well, I don't drink.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
That's a question, man.
Right. Obviously, we're all sober and chill here, so always. So let's look at the format here. A lot of people have been commentating that knowing a grand finalist after the first day, and just how we're playing one game of a best of 3 this afternoon in 2 different matches. Is that weird, or like what?
I think the format is weird and bad this year. I get some of the things they've done as of the best of ones. You can have arguments that best of ones make it more spectator sport. It's better for the spectators, I should say. Whereas the rest is just bad in general. Like the hype goes away in a way from a team being in grand finals after first day. Like a lot of the hype in the tournament, I feel, can go away, and that's bad for spectators, but also for players.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things that could needs work for next year when it comes to that.
And for yourself?
Well, what was the question?
The format. Basically, we know a grand finalist after day 1. We have one game of a best of 3 tonight. Well, like, you play the best of 3. You play one game, and then you play the rest tomorrow. Like, is that super jarring for a team?
I haven't really thought about it, because you get the format and deal with it.
Okay.
I'm playing, deal with it. I guess as a spectator point of view, it's not the coolest to have the grand finals right away, but maybe it is at the same time. I don't really know. I mean, I guess some people like the idea of having one team up there and all other teams have to look at them. Some people don't like it because they want to have the tension going up during the tournament till the final day. I guess it's a thing of taste, whatever you like. But as a competitor, take it or you go down.
So you're basically telling BigDaddy to deal with it?
Well, he knows it. He knows to deal with it.
You have to deal with it. You have no choice.
I don't know why they won't work. So, this is the first time we've been at the Key Arena for an international event. You guys have been at internationals before. How's this compared to the previous ones in terms of, just playing on the stage and, for yourself playing on the stage and, dealing with the fans here and the scale?
Well, playing on the stage was pretty much the same. I mean, there are more people, but since you're in the booth, you don't really get any sounds. In TI3, you actually heard more, I think. I think the booth weren't as strong as here. And it's not the first time we play on stage. So, I mean, overall, it's cool. It's bigger. It has ups and downs. The smaller it is, like last year, it's easier to get around. It's easier to do stuff, easier to grab some food or get to some player you want to get to quick or find your guys. This building is huge, so. Yeah. But the upper side is, it's cooler for everyone. I mean, it's nice. A lot of people, more fans, bigger crowd, more shouting, more hype.
So we haven't actually heard much about the booths this year, but you can confirm that they are better than last year.
Yeah, I feel like last year, I remember when Roshan was hitting, you could hear it. But this time I didn't hear anything.
So nothing at all was picked up then?
Well, personally, I couldn't. So, I mean, yeah.
And for yourself being here at the Key Arena compared to Bannerall Hall, You've got a different aspect on this because you've been spending a lot of time with fans out here, getting mobbed. I'm sure you've heard the phrase "play a card" a million times.
Not even once.
Bullshit.
Okay, that's bullshit. Yeah, this is a lot harder on players. It's a lot harder on players, I feel. Whereas been a Royal Hall was a lot easier on players for the reasons Kuroky is small, or smaller, and well, there's a few things I think they could have also done better, which is make sure that players have easier access to certain things, like the places you want to be. But I mean, I don't even know if it's possible here at Key Arena. It's so big.
Do you want bodyguards next year, or?
Well, some sort of escort could be good. I mean, 40 million could pay for a guy or two.
A couple.
Couple guys, perhaps. It's really not that bad here, but it's getting worse and worse. Like at ESL as well, it's hard to move around, and that can get really frustrating. But luxury problems, I guess.
And I wanted to ask you, a lot of people have been saying, oh, BigDaddy, you're going to rename yourself back. I know that you've said in the past that you're not a huge fan of the old name No-Tail, and I guess you're sticking with BigDaddy.
Yeah, it's gonna stick for now, but people can still call me whatever they want. One day I might nickname Fnatic BigDaddy No-Tail, or No-Tail BigDaddy, or Big No-Tail, whatever. Like, people can still call me what they want, but this is just a nickname. It's just for fun.
All right. So as you can, you look, honestly, actually look pretty chilled out. I know it must be weird going into a match not expecting to, or like a tournament like this, not expecting to place high. Does that mean the future of Navi is pretty uncertain right now, or what?
Well, we haven't talked yet,
Yeah.
so time will tell what happens. I mean, like I said, my expectations for the tournament is connected to everything in the past. We all tried to fix our problems, but sometimes you just can't do it.
Yeah.
It's the way it is, because team is like any relationship, like the same. Sometimes you can't fix your problems for whatever reasons. And I don't know, I think we're gonna talk and see. I don't know if anyone wants to retire, what the plans are. I don't really know my own. The only thing I know for myself is I wanna keep playing Dota, for sure, no matter what. Navi or not, I don't care. I wanna play the game. I wanna be here again next year and do everything more correctly.
So how does it kind of work, to give us an idea? Does it, you go home, take a break for a little bit, like a week, sit down with the team, think about the future, see where everyone's mindset's at, and then base it off that?
I think most teams will take the chance to talk during the event, or like when the event is over, because you see each other face to face. It's much different than just sitting in some Skype or whatever. So it's like everyone has to wait out the event, and then things will be cleared out.
All right, so if I was making a tournament, when do you want tournament organizers to start making tournaments again? Like, how much time do you think the scene needs to recover?
I think the first, let's talk about LAN tournaments, right?
Yeah,
Big
LAN.
tournaments. I think the first one shouldn't be sooner than, no, we have July. Yeah, we don't have August. Last year was August TI.
Yeah, July. Well, towards the end of July right now. So.
I think in August there shouldn't be at all, and maybe at the end of September there could be the first big tournament. And then, the most important thing is, it's like when you start with the September thing, let's say you start at the end of September, if you find a venue, whatever, I mean, you can keep doing these good tournaments. All you gotta do is not stack them like this year, because this year was very horrible for us as players, because we had to it was too stressful to go to many tournaments. They were stacked, and then you had a break suddenly, and then nobody wanted to practice because tired. And this traveling, the mental problems of players should never be underestimated. Yeah. Right now, the scene is so young, and people don't respect the health of the players, because a lot of players constantly get sick. Actually, travel sickness is a thing. You go here, and Asians, Chinese players come here, and they can't necessarily deal with the food, for example. You get sick. You get sick all the time. So I think whatever tournament organizers do, they should respect the players' health more. I think it's one of the biggest problems we have in our scene right now.
All right. And for yourself, when do you think the next LAN should be in terms of tournaments looking to host an event? And also just your opinion on travel. I know you guys were at the Summit, DreamHack, ESL, and then here. That's pretty fucking crazy.
It would be nicer for players if the tournaments are more spread out. the more that this reaches a higher level of income, like more money is seen, you're gonna be able to at one point choose and pick as players so that you can maintain your level of play, because the tournaments are so big that they're worth it to play better at and not constantly travel. Like just before TI, you did it for the reason that you wanted to get better, but if you're actually financially covered, I think a lot of teams would exclude some of the tournaments for like to balance out practice, but also your well-being.
I want to ask you both. We have 5 Chinese teams here in the top 8. Do you think it's time to start looking at maybe visiting China a bit more again, or would you like no go?
I mean, it depends on the player. If he likes to go there and make a team with Chinese or play against Chinese. I mean, I think one of the greatest things in Dota is that it's one of the scenes that where Europeans, Americans, and China, there's never really the strongest. Everyone can beat each other, and any scene is strong. Like we have one American team, EG, and they're doing super good. You know, we have really good European teams. This tournament, for the first time, Europeans are actually the weakest, and that's very interesting. Actually, very, very interesting. I don't think you need to go anywhere. Wherever you go, feel comfortable in your place and practice there or make your team there, whatever.
And for yourself and Fnatic, maybe would you guys consider visiting the Eastern scene to play over there, or would you rather just stick over here?
I think it can be helpful, but I think it can also be bad to travel again too much, but also to somewhere for too long. I think it's definitely an option for you to just stay in Europe, if you're talking about Europe, but I think it's necessary for some regions to sometimes travel abroad to get some experience. I mean, it goes for Europe as well, that they might need to play against Eastern teams to be able to beat them, but especially for American scene, if you're ever going to have an Australian scene, they're going to have to face off each other abroad. And the same goes for the South Korean scene. They got better after people traveled to their country to play. Like, it's definitely related, but I think as of the Western scene, if you have just Europeans or Europe, it's possible just to stay there and practice and become good enough to beat any other region.
And finally, who's going to face Newbie, do you think?
Who won between IG and LGD?
Well, the Game 3 was going on during this, so we don't actually know.
It could be anyone. I think DKEG have the best chances to bounce back to the grand final. I think it's one of these two, but it could be any team left in this tournament.
And for you, do you think?
I think EG or DK. I really think if DK make it to finals, they have a really good shot at winning. But EG, I still think is favorite.
All right, thanks, guys. Shout out to your fans before I cut you off.
Yeah, of course. Shout out to all my fans, all his fans, all you guys. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. Without you, this guy wouldn't be standing here interviewing us. So thank you, and sorry for the disappointment. I'm very sorry for the games today. Hope you enjoyed it anyway.
Thanks, Kuro. And for yourself?
Yes, of course. Thanks to everyone making this possible. Thanks to all the fans. Thanks to Matt. Thanks to all the players for being so awesome, but especially the fans. Like, none of this is possible without you, and that's the truth. International, $10 million because of the community. The best community there is.
There you go, guys. Thanks. And On Game is here all week, so stick with us and subscribe to our YouTube.